Welcome to Staples.
Staples Guide. This year I'm preparing my own taxes.
Good for you.
Yep, I'm going to be accountable.
Right. Well, Staples can help with...
A North Carolina-based nonprofit engaged in the production and distribution of independent digital black media. Find out more by going to blacktalkradionetwork.com or blacktalkmediaproject.org and look for the menu tab, Crowdfunding Black Media. Black Talk Media Project, helping to provide you with new black media for the new millennium. Views and opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
All right, we are here on this Wednesday night. It is February the 15th, 2017, the day after Lover's Day, Valentine's Day. Did anybody break up with their lover like last week so that you wouldn't have to take them out? So you can go out with the other person. You know, let me go on and break up with them this week. Or last month, if you're really good, then you broke up like really after good. Christmas, really after New Year's. Yeah. But they're those serial like holiday breakup people. They break up with you like before Thanksgiving, or so I've heard.
Definitely before Christmas. There was a movie about that.
Was a movie. It's called November Rule or something like that.
Right.
He would break up with his girlfriend. This guy would break up with his girlfriends before Thanksgiving, so he wouldn't have to do the family Thanksgiving thing, the Christmas, the New Year's, and all of that.
Each year he'd have a different excuse. He'd have a different reason. He would go off to war. He would say that he was actually gay one time.
Right.
He'd have different unique reasons.
Oh my God, he has so many excuses. Right. So I hope that no one did that, or if you did, I hope that you broke up with that person because you just needed to break up with them or whatever. But you know what? Celebrate your love, your lover, your significant other each and every day. Each and every day. Doesn't mean you have to buy them candy and flowers or whatever, go out to eat and all that stuff that people participate in on Valentine's Day or whatever. You just should enjoy that person whenever you can.
Yes, you don't need a day.
You don't need somebody to
show your love.
Some specific day that you're supposed to honor this person. Honor that person. You know, it was so funny because, I mean, I've always felt like that because not always, but I don't celebrate holidays, have not really been into holidays in years. But I was recently listening to Baba Dick Gregory, and he was giving a speech somewhere, talking somewhere, somebody interviewing him. And he began to speak about Valentine's Day. And he said, if I'm with you and we're together intimately and dating and all that, and you wait until Valentine's Day to buy me some chocolates, and I like chocolate, I like candy, or bring me some flowers, and I like flowers. He was like, damn, you can go. And that's for real. I mean, why you got look, why are you waiting until February the 14th, buy me a box of darn chocolates. I mean, let's sit up and eat some chocolates together on a Tuesday night. Jeez, a regular day, whatever. Anyway, so.
I remember I broke up with this guy. And when I break up, it's like over, because I've already gone past time of, all right, one chance, two chance, three chance, okay, it's over. So this guy sent flowers to my job. I mean, it was gorgeous, beautiful flowers. All that time we had been together, I had never received flowers from
after you broke up. Yeah.
I've
experienced that. Yeah, after you break up. Then here come the
flowers. They meant nothing. They were beautiful, but they meant nothing.
Now you want to go out. Now you want to do this. Now, man.
And you know I like flowers. Like Papa said, you know I like flowers. But you wait till I'm not around and send them to me.
Mm-hmm. You know I like flowers. Let's see here. You know what? Last week, I'm so disappointed. We were supposed to have this really great guest on tonight, but she'll join us. She had an unfortunate passing in her family, so our condolences go out to her. But last week, Featherlight, we did talk about alternative healing modalities, and this week we're picking up on part 2 of healing modalities, alternative healing, and it was very, very good. You shared some very interesting topics with us, and some healing, alternative healing, like Tai Chi and Qigong. You want to share some for those that missed last week's show? Some of what you talked about.
Basically, I compared the two together. They both use energy, very graceful, precise movement and breath. So all of these are coordinated together. The movement, the breathing, the movement, and I prefer the Qigong.
Qigong.
Although the Tai Chi is more popular, I've purchased a DVD or two on Tai Chi, but I really like the Qigong better because you don't have to learn as many steps as Tai Chi. Tai Chi was originally a martial art, and as you pointed out, many of these practices like yoga and martial arts originated in Africa, and different other countries adopted them.
Yes.
As they have adopted so many of our ancient practices and went away with them.
Well, let me just speak to that. And we did touch on that, but I'm always just going to hammer that point because that's something that it's especially since this is quote unquote Black History Month, since we want to talk about history and Black achievement, African achievement. When we start looking at like alternative healing, yoga, Qigong, Kung Fu, Tai Chi, all of those are practices that come from out of African tradition, culture, spirituality, martial arts, dance, all of that, just healing practices. And the Asians would come over to Africa, the area of what we call Africa, and vice versa, because people traveled. And so people went back and forth and shared knowledge all around. And that's how all of this was able to spread across the world. The yoga is always attributed to Indians, but those Indians brought that practice out of the continent, out of the motherland. You see all those yoga postures on the temples. So in Qigong, Tai Chi, yes. So all of the downward dog pose, that's the pose that Nut is in when she's over Geb, the picture that we always see. That's the downward dog pose. So a lot of this comes from our ancient history, and this is something that really needs to be taught to us, because I remember when I first became interested in yoga, and I asked a black friend, would she like to go to a yoga class with me? And her response was, "Yoga, what's that? That's that crazy stuff that white people do." And so that's what we think of, say, certain practices, because we have been dumbed down and taught to think and believe a certain way about certain spiritualities or practices, and that's just how it is. And so now is the time for us to overcome that and learn about our history and culture, if you haven't already been one of those people, because we've got to move people. We have to progress. Like Malcolm said, we're already too late, so we're behind. Right. So go ahead on and finish. I just had to jump into that.
I'm glad you did. Thank you. As I said before, so many of us are just not aware. We go
just
by
not
what
aware.
we hear. We go by what we hear, and then we pass it on to the next generation and the next generation. When I saw yoga, I thought at first, originally, some years ago, just real thin people in funny shapes holding positions, rather holding positions, and they're skinny people, and that's it. But there's so much more to it. It's really so much more to it.
Right.
It's visually designed to align your body by our African ancestors.
Right. Here in the West, most people that practice yoga, a lot of people that practice yoga at these quote unquote yoga studios, they're practicing yoga for a completely different reason than what yoga is actually, what it originated as. It's more of a healing. It's a healing practice, and also connecting with your higher self. It's not just exercise. Right. It's not exercise. And over here, people practice yoga for exercise. It's not exercise. It's more spiritual.
It also aligns your body, because
yes,
I am a very good example. It is aligning my body. My body does get out of alignment. It's hard after so many years. It's just huge. So it's really great. It's like having your own personal chiropractor if you do it on a regular basis. So those are just a couple of the modalities that we talked about, and again, it's these modalities. They work with your internal organs, the Tai Chi and the Qigong. Qigong, it works with your internal organs, where a lot of our quote-unquote exercises or movements, they're more concerned with immediate physical benefits, big butts, firm breasts, skinny waist, pecs.
Right.
So it's totally, and it's more for, these are more for healing.
For healing.
Yeah.
Heal your body. All right, then. Well, you know what? I really want to go ahead on and get into this clip, because this is a story that is, from my understanding, is not like on national news as of yet. So this story needs to be pushed. This is a story about a mother who is homeschooling her children. She has been arrested. Her children have been placed in foster care. We'll go into some details, but let's just hear this clip. This story comes out of Buffalo, New York.
All new at 11. Did a Buffalo mother's fight to educate her own children actually land her behind bars? Tonight, Kiari Harris is facing charges while her two young children sit in foster care.
She tells us her decision to homeschool her children put a target on her back. Her story catching fire on social media tonight. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Hannah Bueller working this story, and she is finding out that this battle is just getting started.
I felt like the system was failing my children, and that's when I made the decision to homeschool.
Single mother Kiari Harris was fed up. She says her 2 elementary school-aged children weren't excelling at their failing Buffalo public schools. So she filed these documents at Buffalo City Hall, informing the district of her intent to homeschool her children. According to the documents she provided to 7 Eyewitness News, they're dated December 7th, 2016. And the district says here it received her paperwork.
I spoke directly to the homeschool coordinator, and she told me that from this point on, my children were officially unenrolled from school.
But she says a week later, CPS called, wondering why her kids weren't in school.
I told them that my children were homeschooled now, and I said that I can furnish the documents if they need to see it.
Harris says she went on with her homeschooling, but then, less than a month later,
I was confronted by the CPS workers and the Buffalo Police Department, and they said, well, it's too late now to show these papers. The judge has already made the order. We have to take your children. But they never did show me the order. And so since they didn't show me the order, I said, well, I'm not just going to give you my children. And from that point, they arrested me and said that I was obstructing the court order.
Harris says she hasn't seen her 2 children in 3 weeks. They've been living in a foster care institution.
I'm just a mother whose children have been torn from her arms.
The Buffalo Public School District says it cannot comment on this case due to federal laws, but says in order for a parent to file for homeschooling, they must have full custody of the children. Harris says she's a single parent and always has had full custody until her kids were taken away.
All of the documents were signed properly.
A member of the District Parent Coordinating Council says someone dropped the ball.
It should not have happened. Someone along the way, anywhere in the process after December 7th should have simply said, wait a minute, CPS should not be in here. The principal should have been circled back to and said, these students were unenrolled.
Now, this case is far from finished. In fact, the Buffalo Common Council will be addressing it tomorrow. We'll, of course, keep digging and try to figure out what exactly happened here.
It's stunning what is going on. I know you're going to keep tabs on this every step of the way. Thank you very much, Hannah.
Okay, so the young lady's name is Kiara Harris, 30 years of age. And she filed a letter of intent to homeschool her children on December 5th. And let's see here. On December 5th, that's when she filed her letter of intent. Now, she has never been arrested. She is a single parent. So she has full custody of her children because she says that she has always been a single parent. So the school contacted her, the school contacted CPS. And so CPS charged that her children were not enrolled in school, so that is considered as child neglect. So on this young lady's Facebook post, you can just go on to YouTube or Facebook and go to Kiara Harris if you log on to Facebook or I guess maybe some social media, and or you can just pull up the video on YouTube. Kiara Harris arrested for homeschooling children. That'll come up. So she actually has her own video, and she's like keeping people updated on what's going on with this case. So she said, and she gives you the details of what led up to the children being arrested. So to her being arrested, her children were taken away from her. So she comes home. She sees police cops outside her home. She said she circles the block and the cops began to follow her. And she said they pulled her out of a car, refused to read her rights initially, refused to tell her what she was being charged with. They immediately began to tell her that she needed to surrender her children or she would be arrested. So either way, whatever the outcome, her children were going to be taken away from her. They asked her for her children. She refused to surrender her children. They told her if she did not surrender the children, then she would be arrested. So she says, of course, she's not giving up her children because that's kidnapped. Now, when was the last time, Feather, that we heard a woman talking about cops chasing her down or following her and trying to arrest her, which would lead to her children being taken into foster care.
Was it Korean gangs?
Yes, Korean gangs. And so,
gosh.
This is not an isolated incident. These children are constantly being taken away, kidnapped, forcibly removed, illegally removed.
That is so traumatic.
Illegally. And remember, Mother Dunning's case is very similar. Miss Marie's case is very similar. As I was reading through some comments, other people were talking about how this has happened with them. We know that this is going on all around the country because these children, once they're placed in foster care, so many things can happen. They could be used as child slaves. They could be used for child trafficking, sex trafficking, all of this, because it's big business.
It's big money.
And these children are right. If you want to sit here and act like, I was reading some of the comments. Oh Lord, well, I sure hope that you get your children back. Oh, that's just so wrong. Oh, these devils. Oh, they just so wrong. Blah, blah, blah. But what are you going to do? What are we going to do? Because we sit here seeing how these people are constantly reenacting enslavement. These are practices that occurred during enslavement, which we still enslaved, if you ask me. But the point of the matter is, this is no different from somebody busting up in your house and stealing your children. I hear a sound. Can you hear me, Seven?
Yes, but
Okay. Yeah, but this is no different from that. I don't know where that's coming from. This is no different from someone coming in your house and stealing your children. I was hoping that would stop.
I'm gonna hang up and see if it's my phone, and then I'll call back in.
All right. Okay, great. And so, Kiara Harris, she has a PayPal, and I am still hearing that sound. Okay. I hope it stops. Let me just share. She has a PayPal page. Kiara Harris, she's asking for help because she has a public defender, and she's asking if people could call certain judges that are to hear her case. I would suggest just search online for her case because this is not made national news yet, from my understanding, as of earlier today. So she says that she needs to obtain a lawyer so that she can keep her freedom and free her children. Her PayPal is www.paypal.me/KIARRE. That's PayPal. That PayPal.me /KIARRE. All right, her name is Kiara Harris. All right, so let us try to see what's going on with this line because I'm hearing something. Yay, it stopped. That's great. Okay, perfect.
Okay, when you say me, it's www.paypal.me.
Yes, ME. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Okay, so let me give that again because that noise was like in my ear and I couldn't. Here, let's see. So it's paypal.me/KIARRE. But I would suggest go on to YouTube and check out her video and go to the comments and you can retrieve all of the information because we need to definitely follow this story. I have not been able to go online within the past couple of hours to see if there are any updates. Let me just see. This is crazy. And I think she recently went to court and she was still denied custody of her children. And this is crazy. This is kidnapping.
Really, what is her last name?
Harris, Harris.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 30 years of age. Her children have been kidnapped kidnapped. And see, this is the same thing that Corinne, and then the young lady mentions, and I was just telling Delta this earlier on the way home, even before I looked more into this young lady's case. This lady says that she's an activist in New York, and she has been targeted. So once she pulled her children out of school, then that was a way for them to try to go in and attack her. And she says, according to the state of New York law, all she has to do is file that letter of intent, and she can homeschool her children. It's very simple. So I don't understand why Sheila Jackson Lee and Maxine Waters are not trying to jump on this, other than maybe they have not heard. That's why I'm saying, people, let's share this story. Let's try to get it to people like Maxine Waters, because you know what? They're spending too much time on Trump.
Oh, too much time.
Yes.
Too much time.
Especially Sheila Jackson Lee. You were so concerned about Boko Haram and bringing the girls back and all of that. But we have girls right here. We have children right here in our country that are being illegally removed from their homes. And God knows what's happening to them. Because once that child is separated from the family and inside of a foster home for a certain amount of time, it depends on the state, a certain amount of time, then the state can deem that it's harmful to the child to remove the child from the foster home. Because now you're disrupting their life. Well, how you disrupted the child's life when you removed him from the mother, when nothing was going on for you to remove the child. Now, when it's all types of molestation and child abuse going on, CPS never comes in hard.
Oh no,
they don't act on these cases as expeditiously as they should. No. When it's something really serious.
Sometimes something horrible happens.
Yeah.
When they would have been informed months prior.
Yes.
But this, just like this, they're there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because people, when you do the research, you will see that this all goes back to dollars. With that child, also dollars, in addition to they don't want this black girl with some knowledge and some sense raising these children at home. No, we want to keep your children in this school to prison pipeline, right? So we can prepare them for jail. No, you take
one of them is the boy.
Investments. I think she has a little boy and a little girl, and so they're preparing those children for their future investment or some type of. It all boils down to an investment, because again, foster care system. There's money. It's money in that. Okay. And God knows what else they're doing with these children once they remove them from the home. She has not been able to see her children in 3 weeks. While they were, yes. Oh, it's some bull crap. So, oh my God. I could just go on and on about that story, but do look into that. Maybe we can pick back up on that later on or next week for sure. We can.
Yes, I'm definitely
see about having an update. I've reached out to her. I want her to come on to the show and share her story and give us some updates, because this is happening across the country. I mean, we have our own, one of our own co-hosts who's had this happen to her. Her grandchildren were illegally taken. Delta's grandchildren. So, and we had Miss Marie on. There's a whole Facebook page about CPS taking away children. Removing children from homes illegally. So, oh my goodness.
We've got to get together and use their laws against them. Figure out what it is, what steps, like the paperwork that she's got. When you've got paperwork, oh God, we need some heads to get together.
Yeah.
And some pocketbooks to get together.
Absolutely. And some pocketbooks. Let me see. Al Jarreau passed. And I used to really like his music too. So nice and mellow.
Yeah, very, 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 very mellow.
I was saying too much about him.
Al Jarreau, he had a flexibility with his voice that was so different from his peers. As a matter of fact, he set a record at the Grammys by winning awards over several genres. Like he won Best Pop Vocal Performance by Male, Best Jazz Vocal Performance by Male in 1982, and in 1993 he won Best R&B Vocal Performance by Male.
Oh.
Yeah, so in all three of those eras that had been done before, he did scat singing a lot. He did. Yes, and he could do this funny, thing with his mouth. But he won 6 Grammys in all. He travels with such known people as George Benson. I like George Benson, David Sanborn, even Miles Davis.
I thought he won 7 Grammys.
Well, I think I saw one place where it was 7, then I saw another place where it was 6.
Yeah, well, so, 6 or 7. That would be nice. Yeah. 6 or 7. Okay.
So, one thing I want, and he sang pop, soul, gospel, Latin, and several other genres. He said that when they were trying to put him in a certain box, he said that he'd just like to be open to everything, to each and every moment. He said he looked at each and every moment as a chance to create something different. So that was his philosophy. I did want to talk about his a little bit about what happened, because I think it's interesting. In July, on July 23rd, which is my birthday, 2010, he was critically ill, and in France, and he was treated for respiratory problems and cardiac arrhythmia. In June 2012, 2 years later, he was diagnosed with pneumonia, which caused him to cancel several concerts in France. He made a full recovery, and he continued to tour extensively for the next 5 years until this month, 2017, February. And February 8th, after being hospitalized for exhaustion in Los Angeles, he canceled his remaining tours and for 2017 and announced that he was retired from touring. He died of respiratory failure.
When did he announce?
He announced that he was retiring between February 8th and February 12th, we'll say. Exactly 1 month before his 77th birthday. And just 2 days after announcing his retirement, he died. So he announced it on February 10th, and he died on February 12th. My point is,
my goodness,
sometimes we take this work thing too far. We take our work and we make it our life. I know that was his passion. Like dancing is my passion. But it was also his work. He got signals from his body. We must listen to our body. I'm tired. I'm tired. He was past 75. His body was telling him those 2 times that he was hospitalized, that it was tired. He needed to rest. And he didn't actually decide to retire and cancel his tours until his doctors told him, you need to sit down. And 2 days later, he died.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Yes. We must learn to live our life.
You have to live. Live your life, baby. Well, peace be upon Alwyn Lopez Jarreau.
Yeah.
Better known by his stage name, Al Jarreau. Thank you for all your music. Well, you know what? We'll have to now put him in the category of our lyrical angels.
Lyrical angels.
Yep. So we'll put him in that category. We'll have to share a story on him. So I think that's great. But thank you so much for sharing that. And speaking of a lyrical angel, coming up February 21st is the assassination date of one of my favorites, Malcolm X, El Haj Malik Shabazz. February 21st, shot down at the Audubon Ballroom. Oh yeah, in breaking news, the Labor Secretary nominee, Andrew Poser, he has withdrawn his name.
Good.
He's been very controversial, though, because, like, he's the one that said that robots would be better employees at fast food restaurants because they don't ask for time off breaks and sick days, and they can't sue you for sexual harassment. Now, all the other stuff, I probably could have been like, yeah, I can see you saying that. But then, wait a minute, you have to throw that part in. That means your ass has been going around here sexually harassing women.
Yes, you've been in some
probably
trouble.
paying them off. Right. Paying them off, little bits of money compared to what he has, and getting away with it. And his ex-wife had like an interview with Oprah. I have not read the transcript yet, but I think he told her something like she better not leave or something. He seems like he may have had some controlling issues and some like sexual fetishes going on.
Reportedly, allegedly, he physically beat her.
Okay.
Yes, wife abuse.
Right. And some of the commercials for some of his restaurant chains were, I mean, like almost similar to like maybe a porn commercial or something. It was just kind of very sexualized video advertisements. Yeah. So he needed to withdraw his name from.
And he wanted to extend overtime. He wanted to do something negative with overtime, and of course, the raise.
Obama had
raising the minimum wage.
Obama had just signed something into. I think it was an executive order about the overtime granted to salaried employees. Right. So he granted that overtime, and see that crap didn't last. Just maybe 6 or 7 months. All of this stuff that Obama signed in. It makes no sense that all of this could just be easily wiped away. With the next person coming into office.
What's the point?
Right.
But
I mean, I guess it works because if it's some really negative, harmful executive orders that are signed into law, like the Patriot Act, then come in and eradicate that, eliminate that, then that'll be great. Or you stop snooping and sneaking and listening to my phone conversations and watching me through boxes on my TV and all this crap. But anyway, right. So, he needed to take his name out of that little pool. And then I'm not going to dwell on death, but I did come across this story. Mike, I believe you pronounced his name Litch. He's the Little Caesars founder. And Detroit Tigers owner who died last Friday. I did not know that he was paying Rosa Parks rent in Detroit after she was robbed and assaulted in 1994. He moved her into no. She moved into Riverfront Apartments. I remember where those apartments are too. Riverfront Apartments. I think that's right over there by Jefferson in Detroit, Jefferson Street. And there's a civil rights lawyer named, what's his name? Let's see, Damon Keith. And so Damon Keith is a native federal judge. And so he helped Rosa Parks move, and he told a story about Rosa Parks. And so this Mike Litch, the Little Caesars founder and Detroit Tigers owner, paid her rent until she passed in 2005. I did not know that. I did not know that. Yep. So, absolutely. Hey, Prince music is now streamable online. That's a good thing. I'm so excited about that. I know, but I'm excited because I do want to listen to a lot of his music online. But I know that that's something that he fought against, people just being able to just like stream his music. So I don't know, I have kind of ambivalent feelings about that. But Prince, Prince, I love you, and I'm gonna stream your music. I'm gonna buy it. I will buy it on iTunes and all of that, but so that I can have the collection in my library without having to like go here and there trying to find some Prince music. I can just download it. So maybe next week I'll read some of these reflections on Prince. This article I came across, people that have had some kind of encounter with Prince at Paisley Park. They just share like a little short synopsis of that profound experience of meeting Prince. So,
yeah. Quite a character. He's
oh my
very
God.
warm.
I heard that he was like such a comedian. People said that like if that music thing didn't work out for him, he could have been a stand-up comic for real. He could essentially quit the day job and go be a stand-up comic. They said he was like super, super funny.
Wow.
I would have just loved. I thought I'd meet him one day, but I didn't. We miss you, Prince. We miss you, Prince. I have to get this story in before we go into our next little segment. Do you remember Jerry Sandusky, right? The coach. Mm-hmm. I think he was the assistant coach over at Penn State with what's his name? I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. But anyway, with the whole case with them molesting and raping these little boys through their little boys club and all that. And people they knew for years that this was going on. So Jeffrey Sandusky, who is Jerry Sandusky's son, 41 years of age, he has now been arrested, just like his father, on felony and misdemeanor child sexual offense charges.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, yes. So his tail was running around here raping right along with his father, like son. They have been raping these boys. But see, here's what pisses me off about this. What infuriates me is if this pedophile, this child molester, this rapist, if he is now being found guilty of this or has been charged with these crimes, you should have been investigating him back when this happened with the dad. And I know you knew because everybody knew. Well, not everybody, but people knew what was going on. So they knew the son. They just, for whatever reason, the son was not caught up in the whole ring at the time. What is this man name that was a coach and people were so upset about his statue being removed?
Not saying anything.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
No, his statue. They were upset about his statue being removed. Let me see. I'll get it up in just a second. What's his name? Because he knew. Oh, crap. Penn State. I can't think of his name. He was a great football player, and people were all upset. Oh, no, Joe Paterno. That's right. Joe Paterno. And people were like, oh, don't remove his statue, because no, Joe Paterno knew what was going on. He knew that his coach was running around, his assistant coach was running around here raping and molesting boys. But because Penn State was winning and they were bringing so much money, that crap was allowed to happen. Just like all the rapes were allowed to happen over there at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. They knew that these girls were being raped, but because the football players and all the other men that were raping these girls, none of that was, people did not want to bring that to light to cause any kind of reduction on enrollment and money's coming. So they covered it up. So no, not right. And so people are always talking about what we're doing, how we doing this, and you want to go and arrest this mother and all of this stuff. But y'all knew that this boy was raping these children. You knew that. So anyway, so Featherlight, you want to talk about? Should we talk about our next guest coming up and then go on into our topic? Because I know people want to get into the alternative healing.
Okay, all right.
Quote.
Well, our next guest is going to be a 56-year-old Hollywood publicist named Makita Smith. She's making headlines with something that I'm interested in, with the fitness trend called flying over 50.
Ooh.
Women 40 plus, pole dancing, flying over 50. It brings exotic movement to yoga women 40 and plus. She created this new trend of exercise about 6 years ago when she turned 50. She has a public relations firm where she's enhanced the careers of hundreds of clients in Los Angeles with her magic touch. And she does this, this is the second business of hers. She was featured in Prevention Magazine, which is the world's most established healthy lifestyle brand, telling about pole dancing and how it is an artistic exercise that promotes it's combining strength, stamina with sensual movement. So I am very, very her coming on the show talking about using pole dancing for women who are older, who would ordinarily think that, I don't think I can do that. She's going to give them the inspiration that they need to show them that they can do this too. It like I said, it increases your stamina. It makes you feel sensuous, sexy again.
Sexy.
And, yes, and I am just really looking forward to her coming on and talking to us about this new flying over. She has a website too, flyingover50.com, and then she's on Facebook if you want to go and take a look at her, at some of her videos, Flying Over 50, and then you will be nicely surprised or pleased. She's very attractive and is in wonderful shape. So that will be our guest next week, coming on and talking to us about flying over 50.
Flying over 50.
I'm really seriously thinking about going to California and for my vacation and just taking some private lessons. I did try that one time, pole dancing. My girlfriend had turned 50, and she invited a group of us to take pole dancing class. It was paid for. It was so much fun. And I was actually hanging upside down. I was about 57, because I was 7 years older than she was. It was fun, though.
All right. I did participate in a pole dancing class also. It really helps with your endurance and your heart, strengthens your heart and your muscles, your body. So it's great. It's really great. And I remember somewhere some lady started a Christian pole dancing studio classes.
Christian
pole dancing, honey. Pole dancing for Jesus. Pole dancing for Jesus. Yeah. That's what they said. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, you want to also tell us about Hidden Figures, and you have a quote, right?
Yes. Hidden Figures. If you haven't seen Hidden Figures, please check out. It's a wonderful story. It's a historical story. It's interesting that we never knew about these women. It's the story of the brilliant, highly intelligent African-American women who worked at NASA and helped win the space race. This was back in the early 60s during the civil rights era, just after Jim Crow. So you can imagine the problems that they were having, being as brilliant as they were, with their minds, mathematical minds, working at NASA. So the characters, the ones that are highlighted, there's a group of them, about 20, 25 of them, but the ones that they're highlighting, and this is a true story, Katherine G. Johnson, played by Taraji P. Henson. She was a child prodigy. She graduated from high school when she was 14, from West Virginia State University when she was 18, and she calculated a new math that will enable the takeoff and landing of the spaceships, particularly the one that John Glenn was on when he went to the moon. Let's see. She was the first person of color allowed in an all-white male task force, and she did the calculations to send astronauts into space. And they calculated, in this group, they calculated the trajectory of the spacecraft. You had to do it mathematically, how fast, how far, to keep it from blowing up. And she was the best in the group. So Dorothy Vaughan, her character, she was acting supervisor. They just couldn't see themselves giving a manager position to a black person. So for a long time, she did the job. Her character is played by Octavia Spencer. And when their group, this group of African-American women, were called human computers, because the computers were not in the world as they are today. They were not used in the offices. So these ladies did all these figures by hand. And when Octavia Spencer's character, Dorothy Vaughan, saw that they were bringing in this huge, what they call it, the IBM mainframe, she looked at it and she asked about it. She had to do some digging, because nobody came to her and told her, this is going to replace you girls, you ladies.
Right.
So she went and she said, what is that, that they're doing? Oh, it's a computer. Oh, what's that? Well, I mean, it's going to be able to do the work much faster than you ladies. So she took it upon herself to go and investigate this computer. She went to the library, faced a little segregation, confrontation from someone asking, what are you doing over in our section? It's because she wanted to get a book and learn how to work the computer. She taught herself. She taught the other ladies in the class, in her group, so that by the time they got this machine up and running, they were the only people who knew how to work with it. So they had to hire this group of black women to work on the computer. She ended up being NASA's first African-American supervisor, and she was regarded as one of the most brilliant minds at NASA. They finally made her a manager. And the last person, Mary Jackson, she's played by Janelle Monáe. Now, Janelle, I have to admit, she did a great job. It was just an acting job. She did very well. She petitioned. She had the mind of an engineer, but she was black and female. She petitioned the city of Hampton, Virginia, to allow her to attend an all-white school so that she could become an engineer. She was qualified. She had the degrees, but they changed the rules, and they added a class that she didn't have. And the only place they taught this class was in an all-white school, and they would not allow her to come into the school and take a class. So she actually petitioned. She went before the judge, and she made her case. You got to make your case. It all depends on the presentation. The presentation is how she presented it.
That's right. She did present it.
He allowed her to come. He said, only at night. And she said, that's fine. So she had to go to night school and nobody else would see her. And she became the first, NASA's first and America's first female astronautical engineer. So that was history. Katherine Johnson, I'll sum it up by saying that Katherine Johnson, the child prodigy, she went on to perform calculations for the Apollo 2 mission to the moon and the space shuttle in 2016, which is last year. NASA dedicated the Katherine G. Johnson Computational Building in honor of the groundbreaking work in space travel done by Mrs. Johnson. Also in 2016, President Obama awarded Mrs. Johnson the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Mrs. Johnson celebrated her 56th anniversary with Jim Johnson, the guy that was in the film, the one that she met. They stayed together, and they celebrated their 56th anniversary last year. And they're still alive and still together in 2017. That is so
Wonderful.
That is so wonderful. Yeah, and her husband's character is played by Mahershala Ali. Yeah, Mahershala Ali. Oh my God!
Say his name.
Yes, Mahershala Ali
He's an excellent actor.
He is. Yes, he's been in Luke Cage, House of Cards, Moonlight. This recent film, Moonlight, that he's won a lot of awards for. But he's been around for quite a while. But I just really just started liking his character, Remy, in House of Cards, and then he played.
That's when I discovered him.
Yeah. I've seen him in some other films, but he just was just
him.
memorable.
I really started liking him. Yes.
Yeah, his character,
really.
Remy character was quite memorable from House of Cards.
Very much so. Very much so. So I've got a quote.
Okay.
Holding on to anger.
Holding on. Wait a minute. It's very hard to do when love's gone.
Love's gone.
And that's no lie. Holding on. Hey. It's very hard to do. New edition, baby. New edition, LTD, Jeffrey Osborne, baby. If you have not seen New Edition movie, you need to see it. You need to see it. Such a good movie. Don't even get me started on talking about that when I start singing.
Oh
my God. That's the best one since Temptations and 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you. I bet you lie awake now. Hey. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So you have a quote?
Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You want to burn the hell out of your hand trying to hurt somebody else. Here's another one. You are the one who gets burned. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for someone else to die.
Oh, my goodness. Drinking poison.
Drinking poison.
And waiting on someone else to die.
Because they are not even thinking about what's bothering you. They have moved on with their life. When you're holding them up to that grudge, the toxins in your body are eating away with you. Your mood is depressed. When you think of this person, you're spending your energy, and it's just a waste. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
So those are my quotes.
Thank you.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let all of that stuff go. Just let it go. Speaking of letting it go, I like that part. Holding on to anger is like grasping that hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the one who gets burned. Just holding on to all of that, just negativity or holding negative people in your life or toxic people like we've spoken about with the abuse shows. You're just burning yourself. So don't burn yourself. Don't burn yourself. Just free yourself. Free yourself. Relax and let it go and enjoy life. That's what I say. Thank you so much for those quotes. Featherlight. So when we come back...
I wanted to say one more thing before I moved from Hidden Figures. And it was very important because this was during the Civil Rights era, right after Jim Crow law. I just wanted to point out that in the story, as you watch the movie, you'll see that other challenges, racial challenges that they had to deal with, in addition to being black, in addition to being female, in addition to being in an area where they were not used to seeing black females, because you had to have a mind, a mathematical mind, and we've been taught that black people just not smart at math. And so Catherine's character, she was moved to this area where they were all white males who worked in this area, and they were shocked to see this person, but she was the only one who could do this particular type of math. But when it was time for her to go to the restroom, and she asked the lady, "Where's the restroom?" She looked at her and said, "I don't know where your restroom is, honey," and got back on the phone. So that meant that your restroom is somewhere else, but not in this building, not in the next building, not in the next, and the next, and the next. She had to run almost half a mile across this huge campus to find the colored
ladies' restroom. And that I found was extremely.
I could not even imagine having to go through that. And that day, in the film, there's a scene where she has to use the restroom because they're working overtime and she's living off of coffee, just drinking coffee all day because they're.
The men don't want her to touch the coffee pot. That's another one.
Yeah, and they don't want her to use the same coffee pot and all that. But you know what? I tell you, if we had a different mindset and if we would have like come in, just imagine you come in with your own coffee pot and say, I don't want to use that same coffee pot that you use. I'm bringing my own coffee pot. And see, then it would have had a fit and been saying, no, make her use this coffee pot. No, she can't use her own. She had to use the same one we use. You know what I'm saying? Just stupid. And sometimes you just have to think like that. You come at a completely different angle. You disarm them, and you come at a completely different angle. But yeah, so she was having to go like half a mile to the restroom, and I just couldn't even imagine having to endure that in the rain. That day when she had to go in the rain, I don't know how true that is. I keep saying I'm going to order that book so I can actually just read the book because, you know, it could just be some type of embellishment.
She'd always take her work with her so that she wouldn't lose any time.
That's right. She would take her book, take her work with her.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. And just really quick on the whole math deal. A lot of Black children in schools are not taught math. Well, I don't think math, period, is taught in a way that can make it easy for people, that can make it fun and exciting as it should be for people. Because math and numbers, counting, that whole system is used with so much, with measurement, with music, sewing. And so if we just learn and believe, just understand and believe that math is something that, once again, is organic to us as African people and not foreign. And so we've been taught to believe that we're not good at math. If you talk to so many of these Black children, maybe not some of these new Black children, these crystal children, rainbow children that we have, but a lot of older Black people, they'll tell you, I'm not that good at math. They may know how to count. They can count money. You can find any Black person that can count money. But when it comes down to like mathematical equations, you'll hear a lot of older Black people say that they're not good with math. Even some children will say that they're not that good with math because they're taught that in school that they're not good. Oh, this is difficult. You're not going to be able to comprehend this. But we can comprehend it. We can. It's in we. It's in we. She's not the only one that's able to complete those equations like that. We can all do that if we are taught the proper way, and if we are introduced to math, the history of it all, how our people use math, make it fun and interesting to children. I can go on and on with it. I'm not going to take a lot of time because we need to take a quick break. And I know that people are so anxious to hear part 2 on this alternative healing. We're a little behind in getting into this topic, but I just had to talk about that young lady, Kiara Harris, and we just have some other things to talk about. We just have so much to discuss. I tell you, these little 2 hours once a week, it's just difficult sometimes to just get everything in that we have to say. We're so ambitious about our discussion. And I tell you, those little 2 hours that we have here with everyone, it just goes by too quickly. So we better go ahead on and get ready to take our break. And then we are going to come back and talk about alternative healing part 2. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And we will be right back. I think, let's see, Scotty, you there for our break? If Scotty's not there for our break, then we can just go ahead on and keep it rolling. So, Scotty, you just let us know. We'll listen for the music, and then we'll be ready for a break. But, hey, let's go ahead on and pick up with our topic on alternative healing. So for people that may be interested in some other methods of healing themselves, some other healing modalities, maybe you're Obamacare has been cut off, or you don't want to use Obamacare. And that's something that one of our guests is going to come on and talk about, the health industry, so-called health industry, and this healthcare insurance, and how there's been an increase in people who have died under Obamacare. Oh my God, what in the world is going on? So you may want to look into some alternative healing practices. And so that's what we want to talk about again tonight. As we mentioned, last week we talked about Tai Chi and Qigong, and I tell you, yesterday I went to have a massage, and a massage is considered alternative healing. In fact, speaking apropos of massage, in watching that film, that documentary by Michael Moore, Where to Invade Next, I will have to research this. But on this film, on this documentary, in Germany, if you're stressed, if you feel like you're stressed and you need some time off from your regular work day, your employment, your doctor can write you a 3 weeks prescription for 3 weeks at a spa. So you can have your doctor write a prescription for you to have 3 weeks at a spa where you can receive your massages, relax, have your nails manicured or toes pedicured, have a pedicure, manicure, do whatever it is. I need to go so I can see what that experience is like. So stress is serious. So we have to really take care of ourselves. Silent killer.
It's the beginning of many diseases.
Yes, it's a silent killer. Yes, it is. It's the beginning of many diseases because stress can lead to cancer. Stress can lead to a heart attack. Stress can lead to weight gain, which could lead to diabetes and so many other things. And that's what I wonder. Why do so many men have diabetes now? There's so many men with diabetes now. You know what? Listen. Ladies, you better listen. When that man start talking about he has diabetes and all this stuff, if you care about that man, both of you need to change your diet immediately. If that's somebody that you're going to be with, change your diet immediately. If they have not already changed their diet, both of you need to work together on the same diet, because it's difficult to be with a meat eater and you're a vegetarian, or to be with someone that just eats any and everything and you're conscious about what you eat. That causes a lot of difficulties. It just really does. I remember when I converted to vegetarianism, I converted my boyfriend too. The guy I was involved with at the time. I was like, you have to become a vegetarian too. And him being a vegetarian, at least around me, he was. No, he probably was eating all kind of ribs and everything when I wasn't around. But I was like, at least around me, you eating vegetarian. I know that happened. He was like, this girl crazy, because we were young. And I'm like, you got to be a vegetarian. But anyway, so we want to talk about these ancient healing practices. And let me see. So last week we get on meditation. So let me just pick back up. I'll tell you, let's see. How about we start with meditation? Let me just give a quick little overview. When you meditate, it's not just you sitting in lotus place. You can meditate with dance, with walking in nature, connecting with nature, lying down. You can lie down and meditate. You can sit and meditate, paint and meditate. Let that be your meditation. Listening to some music. We said dancing, right? So there are different forms of meditation. So many different types of meditation and ways to meditate. I mean, we'd be forever going into all of those details. But meditation helps your emotional well-being. It helps improve your mind, like it increases your mental strength and focus. We'll talk more about that. And it also helps you achieve a healthier body by, say, for instance, it improves your immune system and your energy level. improves breathing and heart rate. So did you know that meditation helps your brain moves? So in a study conducted at 5 middle schools in Belgium, involving about 400 students between the ages of 13 to 20 years of age, students who followed an in-class mindfulness program report reduced indications of depression, anxiety, and stress for up to 6 months later. And moreover, these students were less likely to develop pronounced depression-like symptoms. Mindfulness meditation decreases ruminative thinking and dysfunctional beliefs. Meditation helps. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Perception.
Yeah.
Dysfunctional beliefs. Yeah.
Mindfulness meditation also helps treat depression in mothers-to-be. Okay, so like high-risk pregnant women who participated in a 10-week mindfulness yoga training saw significant reductions in depressive symptoms. So meditation will help reduce depression. It also helps regulate your mood and anxiety disorders, any type of anxiety disorders. Meditation was found to be as effective to treat anxiety and depression as an antidepressant drug. And if you watch any type of commercials or TV, you hear about how these so-called drugs that are supposed to help you, these drugs that are supposed to help you, actually can be more harmful than what you originally started taking a drug for. You may start taking this drug for a liver problem, then you start having suicidal thoughts. That's just stupid. So I mean, all of these drugs
your
we just
tongue swells up so that you can't speak.
Yes, can't speak, can't breathe, air passageway blocked. So no, thank you. So you can meditate and eliminate the antidepressant drugs. Let's see, any type of symptoms of panic disorder. There was a research of 22 patients diagnosed with anxiety disorder and panic disorder, and they were submitted to 3 months meditation and relaxation training. As a result, for 20 of those patients, the effects of pain and anxiety had reduced substantially, and the changes were maintained at follow-up. So your pain, any type of anxiety disorders, panic disorders, meditate. Start out with 3 minutes, increase it to 5, increase it to 10, 12, 15, 20 minutes. And if you want to go more than that, great. But try to get some time in just to sit back and clear your head. And if you lose focus, just bring it back. Just bring it back. Meditation increases gray matter concentration in the brain. So there were 16 people that were submitted to an 8-week mindfulness course using guided meditations and integration of mindfulness into everyday activities. The results were reported, and the results showed that the gray matter concentration increases in areas of the brain involved in learning and memory, regulating emotions, sense of self, and having perspective. So with the meditation, there was an increase in those areas of the brain. So again, you can improve your learning, your memory, the regulation of your emotions, your sense of self, and having perspective. My goodness. I mean, you can just become a whole new person.
Right. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, you can become a new person. Let's see. I want to read. There was another one. Okay, let's go to mind and performance. Meditation improves your focus, attention, and ability to work under stress. Meditation improves information processing and decision making. So long-term meditators have larger amounts of what is called gyrification, that's folding of the cortex, which may allow the brain to process information faster than people who do not meditate. So if you meditate, you're able to process information faster. So you can process that information and come up with decisions or respond quicker than a person that does not meditate. Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of junk going on in the
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Meditation gives you mental strength, resilience, and emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. Let's see. It makes you stronger against pain. Meditation makes you stronger against pain. So a research.
Somebody who has a low tolerance for pain.
I didn't hear you.
More? Does it mean that for someone who has maybe a low tolerance for pain, that they can deal with it more? What does it mean?
Well, through meditation, it helps you. You're able to reduce the pain through the meditation. So people that meditate report that they experience less pain from whatever is causing them pain.
Okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. It says here, even though their brain may be receiving the same amount of pain input, in their minds, there is actually less pain. Because you have control, you have better control over yourself and your thoughts when you meditate.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's like,
again, it comes with perspective, like the one we just read. Let's see, where was that? Your perspective has changed. It helps with your meditation. Helps with your perspective. So if you perceive the pain to not be as the pain to not be a level, say 10, you're perceiving it to be a level 2, so you feel better. You don't feel the pain. That's what
like those men, mostly Easterners, who can take their hand and chop through a big block of wood. They don't feel that pain. They condition themselves through meditation. Like this is not really going to hurt. Walking on some hot coals, this is not really going to hurt.
That's right. It's all about perception. Meditation relieves pain better than morphine. In an experiment conducted by Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center, 15 healthy volunteers who were new to meditation attended 4 20-minute classes to learn meditation, focusing on the breath. Both before and after meditation training, study participants' brain activity was examined, and this was the first study to show that only a little over an hour of meditation training can dramatically reduce both the experience of pain and pain-related activation. About 40% reduction in pain intensity and a 57% reduction in pain unpleasantness. So there was a greater reduction in pain than morphine.
I had no idea that it went that far.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I just thought it pretty much quiet your mind.
Right. Yeah. I just thought maybe you just clear your head, it helps with your thinking. But I mean, gosh. Yeah, make decisions better. Meditation helps manage ADHD, so-called ADHD, which now I did read about that because a lot of schools have implemented meditation classes. So meditation reduced hyperactivity, impulsivity, and increased act with awareness skill, contributing to an overall improvement in attention symptoms. That's absolutely great. So if you have some children that you deem are extremely hyperactive, which means that they just need to be involved doing something that they enjoy doing. It's difficult for children to sit down. I don't know why people expect for children to just sit down. They're supposed to be up, running around, learning and doing things and touching things. That's what they do. Grown people do it. Adults do it. Except for the lazy ones. Meditation increases the ability to keep focus in spite of distractions, so you can improve your ability to focus more, and you're not easily distracted. Moving from one thing to the other without finishing whatever you started on, you can focus and finish. Meditation improves learning, memory, and self-awareness. It improves rapid memory recall. Okay, mindfulness meditation has been reported to enhance numerous mental abilities, including rapid memory recall. Meditation improves your mood and psychological well-being. Meditation prevents you from falling in the trap of multitasking too often. Yeah.
Too many things at once.
Exactly. Trying to handle too many things simultaneously. It doesn't work for some people. It doesn't work for me. I tried that multitasking. Now, I can work on different projects, but the whole multitasking, trying to do this, and this, and do this at the same time, now I've found that just go ahead on and allocate a certain amount of time to this, set my clock, my little alarm, bam, when that goes off, it's time for me to stop and move to the next thing. So that's something that I've started implementing so that I can be more productive, not just trying to do 5 different things in 1 hour. Just, okay, let me just finish this. If it takes 1 hour to do that, or if it takes 30 minutes to complete this task, then okay, because I've allocated 30 minutes to this. I may go over 5 or 10 minutes, but I hit that little snooze button on my alarm so it'll ring again, and guess what? I'm moving on. Oh, yes. Meditation improves visual-spatial processing and working memory. So research has shown that even after only 4 sessions of mindfulness meditation training, participants had significantly improved visual-spatial processing, working memory, and executive functioning. Meditation prepares you to deal. What's what about?
Visual, what you just said.
Oh, visual.
Visual, like where you speak something. What?
Yes. Okay, let me just give you a not my just definition. Let me make sure I have it correct for people. Visual. Okay, I'm gonna do this for my listeners. Okay, visual-spatial skills allow us to visually perceive objects and the spatial relationships among objects. These are the skills that enable us to recognize a square, triangle, cube, and pyramid. So it helps you recognize shapes and sharpens. I guess your imagery is sharpened.
Okay, gotcha.
I would say that's the best way to explain it. Okay. Meditation increases awareness of your unconscious mind. All right. Let's see here. I won't read that study. But this is I'm reading this from this article on like 76 benefits of meditation and mindfulness meditation. Of course, I'm not going to read all 76. But you can always Google this. So we just want to touch on some of these. Meditation reduces risk of heart disease and stroke. Okay. More people are dying of heart disease than any other illnesses. And let's see. In a study published in late 2012, a group of over 200 high-risk individuals was asked to either take a health education class promoting better diet and exercise, or take a class on transcendental meditation. During the next 5 years, researchers accompanying the participants found that those who took the meditation class had a 48% reduction in their overall risk of heart attack, stroke, or death. Isn't that something?
Yes. Wow.
Transcendental meditation. Mm-hmm.
Well, how long was it?
5 years. Mm-hmm. Researchers followed them for 5 years. So, meditation actually affects the genes that control stress and immunity.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it had to do with relaxation, but immunity?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Immunity. Also, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Meditation has not been getting this full power of work.
No, it has not. No, it has not. It's also helpful for patients diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now, this is something that I did not know. Mindful meditation may even help treat HIV. Now, I'm going to just share this piece, and then, Aja, I know you want to share a little bit about mudras, and then you have a piece that you want to share with us. We also have our video clip. So, mindfulness meditation may even help treat HIV. So, let's see here. Let me just share this piece here. Lymphocytes, or simply CD4 T cells, are the brains of the immune system, coordinating its activity when the body comes under attack. They are also the cells that are attacked by HIV. The devastating virus that causes AIDS has infected roughly 40 million people worldwide. But the immune systems of HIV/AIDS patients face another enemy as well, stress, which can accelerate CD4 T cell declines. Now, researchers at UCLA report that the practice of mindfulness meditation stopped the decline of CD4 T cells in HIV-positive patients suffering from stress, slowing the progression of the disease. There was an 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction meditation program, and it compared it to a 1-day mindfulness-based stress reduction control seminar using a stressed and ethnically diverse sample of 48 HIV-positive adults in Los Angeles. Participants in the 8-week group showed no loss of CD4 T cells, indicating that mindfulness meditation training can buffer declines. In contrast, the control group showed significant declines in CD4 T cells from pre-study to post-study. Such declines are a characteristic hallmark of HIV progression. So HIV can actually, yes, HIV. Get rid of that stress, relax, and change your diet, and you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. So, let me see. You want to go ahead on and share? That's all that we're going to share with our alternative medicine, alternative healing for tonight on meditation. We can always pick back up, because I tell you, it is just, we can go on and on and on with this meditation, and the meditation, the benefits of meditation, like reduces emotional eating, decreases feelings of loneliness. Meditation also increases feelings of compassion and decreases worry. So, hey, I think a lot of us need to engage in a little more meditation. Meditation even helps with loving kindness. It helps improve your empathy and positive relationship. Okay, meditation helps improve your personal and social relationships, Featherlight. Okay? Look, okay. So, yeah, we need to practice a little more.
I didn't know that it was that much.
Different types of meditation.
That much.
Yes.
I really need to get on, improve my meditation time.
Yeah. And one last benefit of meditation, and then we'll move on. Meditation may make you live longer because you've reduced that stress and you have a positive state of mind. Yep. Absolutely. So that is all that we're sharing tonight on the benefits of alternative healing. We'll pick back up unless you want to share some on the mudras, and then we can go into your piece. Would you like to do that? Because I did want to hear about your mudras, and I know we have some people that want to hear about the mudras.
Okay.
So did you want to share that, or you want to go into your piece? Whichever one you feel like. Or you love the body. Love the body.
Tell you what, we can do the mudras next week.
Oh, okay.
Because that is something to think about on the meditation. Let us just soak that in.
Yeah. The listener may want to pause to really.
I don't want to rush through that.
Exactly. Really have some understanding of all of those benefits of meditation. That is something to digest and actually meditate on.
Right, let's meditate on that.
Yeah, digest that.
Yes.
Digest
okay,
that.
so I am going to do not a spoken word tonight, but a short story that's kind of formed in my mind, and I entitled this, Is That a Train?
Is that a train?
I'm not sure if I want to title that, Is That a Train, or The Man at the Station. So, since this is my first time reading this, I'll let you and the audience decide. Should this be entitled, Is That a Train?
Is that a train?
Is that a train?
Is that a train?
Or The Man at the Station. Okay. All right. So, here we go. A man was at the train station about to walk across the track. He was a fine-looking man, dressed as a pig, sharper than Dick was when Hattie died. To look at him, you'd think he didn't have a problem in the world. Like the little rascals would say, everything was okay. As he began to make his way across the track, headed home, I suppose, he heard a faint whistle in the distance, like the sound of a train. He stopped, peered down the track, and thought, it couldn't be a train. It was a small town, and another train wasn't due for another couple of days or so. But it sure sounded like a train. The man continued to walk slowly across the track, carrying his bags, which were a bit heavy. After a few more steady steps, he heard the sound again. Only it sounded louder, a bit closer. The well-dressed man put down one of his bags, removed his hat, and scratched his head as he strained to see if there really was a train. And he gazed down the empty track. Why would a train be coming at this time of the day when there's no schedule for a train? Someone could get hurt doesn't make any sense. He pondered on this for a moment and then picked his suitcase back up and straightened his hat. This is crazy. He thought about picking up speed, but his shoes were a little too big, and it was a little warm outside. And he still had on his jacket. Besides, he really wanted to take his time and not break a sweat. The train didn't have any business coming on this track now anyway. So he continued at his regular pace. There is no train. How would there be? Nobody's at the station. Must be his imagination. The track was pretty wide, as this had been a popular station at one time, so he was only about halfway across when he heard another loud whistle. Definitely a train whistle. Oh, shit. That's a train. And it's coming fast. He couldn't tell which track it was on, as sweat was starting to blur his vision. He began to struggle with the bags, and one of his shoes came off as it got stuck between his slats. He could see and hear the train clearly now. He didn't know whether to turn back or try to make it across to the other side. What should he do? Should he drop the bag and lose the other shoe? Who's driving that train anyway? And who authorized this change? Why didn't they let the townsfolk know ahead of time? Did they not care that people could get hurt? Children even? And he thought, if I make it across this track, I'm going to investigate this matter and put someone else in charge of the train schedule. But I better do something quick and in a hurry. Or namaste.
Oh. Namaste. 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 I don't know what title to give that one. Is that a train? I think I do like Is That a Train? You said is that a train or is that a man on the train?
Is that a train? That was my first choice. Is that a train? No, actually, when I first started thinking in my head, I thought the man at the station. But as I wrote it, I thought, is that a train? Now, let me give you my synopsis of this and why how I look at this.
Okay.
So often we get so caught up in the why and the what fors, we forget our own mission. We forget our own. What is that train doing coming down here? Why is it coming down here? Well, it's not supposed to be coming. Your butt needs to be getting across that track. So overly dressed self in this 80-degree temperature. The man had plenty of time to get across the track. We're given all kinds of signs and warnings, but we refuse to accept what is clear. We'd rather waste time speculating, debating, and hesitating. Speculating, debating. Don't we debate? Ooh, we debate. Debate, and hesitating. While you're debating,
children, you're too slow.
Yeah.
Too slow. Play too much and stay too long. That's what
I was just about to say that.
My advisor used to
play
say.
Too much and stay too long.
She used to say, black folks play too much and they stay too long.
At first I didn't get it. I was like, we do?
Yeah, we do.
We do. Okay, the station represents society. It has always been there. It has always been there. Don't be surprised. It's society. The train represents systematic strategies used by society to oppress and control. We may not see it clearly, but from past experience, we know it is constant and appears without warning. You know this is a track. Trains come down the track. You don't have to know when it's going. You know a train is eventually going to come down this track.
Yes.
All these things that are happening. Oh, Trump is in New York. We've had other presidents in the office who did all kinds of things. Why are we so sure? You know, why are we wasting all this time debating? We know from past experience the kinds of things that happen in this place where we live.
Yes.
The bags, too large shoes, overdressed, represent everyday challenges that we face, and some we bring on ourselves. We want to pretend everything is okay, got fancy cars and whatnot. Doing that. Okay, I'm doing okay. He had on a jacket and a hat, and it was 80 degrees, but he wanted to look good, give the outward impression he was doing just fine. How you doing? Just fine.
Just fine.
The denial and disbelief that yet another train was coming represent those who know how society responds to certain groups, that views black groups, and is aware of past atrocities committed against them. You know what a train can do. So a train can smash you to smithereens.
Yes.
On the wall. You hear the train whistle, but refuse to call it what it is. Well, no, you know, that girl, she shouldn't have been talking like that to that policeman, or she'd still be alive today. Call it what it is.
Call it what it is.
Call it what it is.
Okay. Let's just keep it real.
Keep it real.
To
do so, to call it what it is, would mean that they would have to do something different.
They would have to take on some action.
Exactly.
They have to now take action. You can't just continue to sit back.
Point fingers and blame.
Yeah.
Continue to do what they've done all along,
Once
and
you
hope the
become aware.
train doesn't come and knock their blocks off.
Knock their blocks right off.
Guess what? Racism is over. We had a black president, 2 terms.
Post-racial society.
So there's not supposed to be a train. Not now. Not now.
No, not now.
But guess what? Black Rose.
What? Toot. I think I can. Well, namaste. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. All right, and you also have a Love the Body for us.
Oh, let's see. I love the body.
Yes.
Detox. We have been talking about 2017 being a good year, the things we're going to do. You and I and some of our listeners are practicing vegetarian, the Veggie Challenge, Vegetarian Challenge. And detox is important too. It's part of it. We're living in the most polluted environment in Earth's known history of continually inhaling and assimilating residues from petrochemicals, plastics, pesticides, you name it. And all this has affected it. We've had a 1,600% increase in birth defects since 1980. 1,600% increase. 250% increase in breast cancer since 1980. 59 decrease in male sperm count. 59% decrease in male sperm count since 1980.
No, we need that male sperm.
Student blank. 500% increase in cancer mortality since 1900. And 400% increase in heart disease since 1900. So,
what was the increase in breast cancer?
Breast cancer, 250% increase since 1980.
Okay, and in 1980, is that when those darn underwire bras became popular?
Oh, I don't know.
I want to say yes, because we really weren't wearing like underwire bras braziers, as they used to call them. I don't think in the 70s. Well, I was still a child.
I didn't in the 70s.
Okay, not in the 70s. I think that was something like new, like in the 80s, mid 80s, going into the 90s, because that was like special. Underwire bra, push-up kind of sort of. It was more expensive, yes. So they made it like desirable for us. It was like, this is an underwire bra. This is special. It's sexy, elegant, more feminine. It's special. It's different. So that's quite interesting, because there are studies that do report that underwire bras have been causing breast cancer in so many women. So I don't wear underwire bras. I have one left, like one underwire bra, and I tell you, when I wear that joker, by the end of the day, I am in so much pain, and I need to just throw it away. I really do. I just need to discard it. Just take it to the little clothes box. No. All right. So anyway, that's interesting. Okay. So detoxing.
Okay. So let's talk about detoxing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So before I get into detoxing, realize that when you do decide to detox, and there are many methods of detoxing, there may be some side effects because you are releasing all these harmful toxins in your body. They have to escape, whether they escape through the largest escape mechanism in your body, which is your skin, or through bowel movements, or through coughing, or whatever. It has to escape somehow. You may have some skin breakouts because it's coming out, okay? You may have a headache or two. Let it go. Let it go through. Let it go through its process. Don't stop doing what you're doing. You may have a little fatigue, drowsiness. This is something that your body is going through. You may even be a little irritable. Just keep in mind, if any of these things happen, it's because it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So take care of yourself, rest, recoup, try to go to bed a little earlier. So here's one that I like. One part of this is a bath, okay? A warm bath. A warm bath, hot water is a very good way to detox your body because it helps to eliminate the toxins. Combine 1 part Epsom salt, EPSOM, to a 2-part baking soda mixture. This creates the basic detox bath for a 30-minute soak. So if this is and a few drops of essential oil like lavender, this black stuff is relaxing. For your first detox bath, use this 1 cup of Epsom salt and 2 cups of baking soda. Add the mixture while drawing your hot bath water as hot as you can stand. You don't hurt stuff. As hot as you can stand it. Fill the tub 2/3 of the way full. Soak for at least one half hour. Now, this is what I want to warn everybody, because I've tried this. Get everything ready. Get your bed ready. Pull back your cover. Light your candles in your bedroom.
Light your candles.
You might want to set a timer. Because I myself, I'm not used to taking baths. I'm a shower person. So it's extremely difficult for me to stay in that tub that long. 30 minutes, it seemed like forever. And I kept saying, is it 20 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? It was just really hard, which means I need to do it more. But anyway, so you may want to set a timer so you won't have to do what I did. And when you get out, you will be so tired because those toxins will have come out of your body and you will be weak. Do not make any plans to do anything except fall in the bed. No whoopee making. You will be too exhausted. You can hug, you can spoon, but no whoopee.
Spooning would be nice. A little spooning.
Just make sure. And I didn't dry myself off. I mean, I'm sorry. I missed one part. Before you wet your body, get a good brush
long handle brush, and do a dry brushing of your skin.
I have not done a dry brushing in a while, so I need to do that. That is really good. Get those dead skin cells.
Yes.
Remove those dead skin cells.
You do your entire body.
And it feels good.
It feels good. That's great.
Yes.
Great. So that is. Try that. Try that, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? Now that would be. You know, I think that would be a great act for foreplay too. Just let someone just brush your body, and then you take that bath. You may not want to take that detox bath, but that brushing, and then both of you take a shower or a bath
that would
together.
Be great.
Yeah.
That would stimulate your skin.
And you can make it playful, like a little brushing. Yeah, brush your hair, then brush your neck. Yeah. Brush your back. Brush up, baby.
Brush my feet, brush my toes, brush my ankles too. Okay. All right. So now we're into the part of our mind, body, and spirit show where we talk about relax and release. This is the relax and release portion of our show. We just love the body. We always want to love the body.
Yes.
And this is R&R, relax and release. So this is about pranayama. It is also an alternative method of healing. You would be surprised at the things that pranayama can do for you. To reduce down your blood pressure, makes your heart stronger, so many things. But we will learn a lot about it because we're going to try to do pranayama every night. So this one is, last week we did ocean breath. So that was relaxing. The week before that, we did the breath of fire. That gives you a boost of energy. And let me explain this breath of fire a little bit better so people get a better idea, because I didn't explain it that well before. But I've done it so many years. I did it before I even heard of pranayama. It was just so just imagine you have a birthday cake and you have these little candles on it. The time that don't go out, you blow it and it lights back up. And so you end up doing this.
Oh, yes.
Because you keep blowing it keeps coming back on, you keep blowing. So that's really the breath of fire. When I do that before lifting something. Like I said, I lifted my bike. I brought it up 15 steps. I did the breath of fire. And I just had this immediate burst of energy. I lifted up on my shoulders. Whoop, 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 whoop. If you've got to pick up something, do full breaths, like, and inhale. Okay, that's the breath of fire. Now, so tonight we're going to do the 4, 7, 8. And you can look this one up. You can look all of them up, but this is easy because it's numbers. It's online. It's very simple. Takes almost no time. Requires no equipment. It can be done anywhere, in any position. But it's best if you sit with your back straight while you learn this. And what's important is to place the tip of your tongue against the ridge of your tissue just behind your upper front teeth. So find that place while I'm talking. Ridge tissue, just, you can feel it as it's ridge, just behind your upper front teeth. Now you have to keep your tongue there the whole time. That's important. So you will be inhaling, you're going to exhale first through your mouth.
Okay.
Around your tongue, because your tongue is up there, where I told you. Okay. And this is a natural tranquilizer. You were just speaking about tranquilizer. This is a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system. And it really works. It has no side effects. You can do this at least twice a day. You cannot ever do it too much. Okay. So do not do more than 4 inhalations at one time.
Okay.
So this is how you do. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound. Now, close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose to a mental count of 4. exhale. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now exhale through your mouth. Take a whoosh sound to the count of 8. Okay? This is one breath. One breath. So you will always inhale quietly through your nose and exhale audibly, make noise, through your mouth. You will inhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will hold your breath for a count of 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. And then you will exhale through your mouth, count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted a little fast that time. I was talking. So, if you have trouble holding your breath, speed the exercise up. But you got to keep the right ratio. You got to keep the ratio. It has to be 4, 7, 8.
4, 7, 8.
4, 7, 8. Do it.
Okay.
Do it. 4 times. When you exhale, we're going to do it all together before we close. When you exhale, just want to give you all the tips on it. When you exhale, when you exhale to a count of 8, you are releasing so many toxins from your body. You're releasing about 95% of the toxins from your body. That's quite a bit more than you would if you didn't. Because normally when we exhale, we do a brief exhale like, and so we're not releasing the toxins that need to be released. So this exhalation is very, very important. So are we ready?
Yes.
Ready to inhale through our nose?
I've been inhaling through my nose and breathing out while you were telling me. I almost fell out, but okay.
Okay, so here we go. Inhale, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, whoosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your stomach should, your belly button should almost be back to the back of your spine when you exhale because you're releasing all of this air. So I don't hear any whooshing sounds.
Well, I don't want to be loud on the air.
Oh, that's cool. So people could actually feel it.
Whoosh. Right.
You don't want anybody to hear you whoosh?
No, I don't want them to hear me whooshing too much.
All right. So that is my pranayama.
But I did whoosh. You didn't hear me. I did have one loud whoosh just so everybody could hear.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I love it. So thank you for that pranayama. Pranayama, get your breath right, get your breathing right, get information. Breathe. Breathing is so important. I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad that you closed us out with this breathing every night. Speaking of formation, we didn't get a chance to talk about Beyonce and the Grammys, so we'll have to come and pick back up on that. Beyonce, by some people say she was Grammys, and Adele gave this speech about how Beyonce should have won Album of the Year. Beyonce did win for Best Music Video. She won for Best Urban Contemporary. And she was nominated for Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and I think also, was it Record of the Year too? I think she was nominated for. But anyway, so Adele made some comments about that because apparently Adele is a part of the Beehive, and so she just loves Beyonce. But I must say, though, Beyonce did bring in some African spirit with her attire at the Grammys. And many people say she was channeling the Yoruba goddess Oshun. So we'll talk more about that. We need to go ahead on and close out. Thank you so much, Featherlight. Thank you, Scotty.
And remember this, when the breath wanders, the mind is unsteady. But when the breath is still, so is the mind.
All right. Hey, I know that's right. All right, well, namaste, peace, and we'll be back on next Wednesday with Flying Over 50. And I'm not 50 yet. I wonder, can I still fly that?
40 plus.
Oh, 40 plus. I can do that. All right.